Hundreds of protesters gathered peacefully at the Capitol grounds to protest the death of George Floyd Sunday. Protesters held signs and called for justice for George Floyd, a black man who died after being restrained by a Minneapolis police officer. Helena Mayor Wilmot Collins, an African refugee, stood with the crowd.
Black Lives Matter! I feel like a lot of people want to pretend that small town America doesn't have these racial issues when they are incredibly widespread and incredibly pertinent. And there are things we can do about them, but a lot of people like to pretend that we can't do anything because we are small town America. But protests like this say, even the little places have our eye on you. We have our eye on the criminal justice system and our government, and that we're watching and we're waiting to see how they react to these things.
The protesters held a moment of silence for 9 minutes and a so-called die-in for George Floyd. Attendees to the rally shared their own experiences with racism and discrimination.
It happens everywhere, no matter where you are. Unfortunately, my children have grown up with racism, and not nearly as bad as bigger cities, but it's still, no matter where you are. So it's awesome to see this much of a, gathering for Black Lives Matter.
The protest was mostly peaceful, but there were tense moments. An individual became upset over protesters laying in the street. Police arrested the individual for allegedly impersonating a police officer. Law enforcement officers had to get between Black Lives Matter protesters and counter-protesters at one point, and authorities are investigating an alleged physical altercation during the protest. Helena Police Chief Steve Hagan says the goal was to prevent anyone from getting hurt while exercising their rights.
As far as I know, no one got hurt. So I won't call it a successful protest because I would have wanted it to be much more peaceful than it ended up. But with two rallies occurring at the same time in the same city at the same day, opposite views, the fact that at this point no one has been hurt, we're very pleased with that.
At the Capitol, I'm Alexi Guo, MTM News.